What's up, everybody? I'm Steven from All Games Go to Heaven, and welcome to what I am tentatively calling Quick Picks, where we spend a few minutes talking about a game one of us has been playing recently and really enjoyed, but isn't quite the right fit for 1 hour plus main episode. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. Today we are going to be talking about Shinobi Art of Vengeance, developed by Lizard Cube, who also made Streets of Rage 4, and it was published by Sega. This was released in August of 2025 on all major platforms to really good reviews, and was nominated for Best Action Game at the 2025 Game Awards. Not really sure how it did sales-wise. The only figure I could find was that it sold roughly 8,000 physical copies in Japan. I couldn't find any digital sales figures. Those are notoriously hard to come by, but seems like it did good because new DLC was announced recently with 3 new bosses from other Sega titles like Dr. Eggman from Sonic. There's new levels, a boss rush mode, some new abilities, and new outfits for Musashi. So I haven't really seen this game talked about a lot, which is a shame because it's one of the best Metroidvanias I've played in a long time. If I had to guess, I would say maybe it was overshadowed by Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which came out a month before, and I don't think that Shinobi has the same level of name recognition that Ninja Gaiden does anymore, but the announcement of the DLC is promising because I hope Lizard Cube can keep making great games like this. You play as Joe Musashi, who is out for revenge after the leader of E&E Corp, Lord Ruse, destroys his village and kills everyone in it. Is it the most original plot? No, but it does the job of giving your character a reason to be destroying everyone in his path on his quest for revenge. The real meat and potatoes of this game is the combat anyway, which in the roughly 15 hours it took me to 100% this game, the combat never got stale. Musashi moves fast, hits hard, the controls are super responsive, and anytime I died it never felt like it was because the game was cheap or too hard, it was because I'd made a mistake. You start the game off with your basic light and heavy attacks and a couple of combos, along with the ability to throw kunai. Enemies have a health meter and also a stagger meter, which you fill up, and then you can hit 2 buttons to do an instant execution, which will usually result in enemies dropping health, kunai, and coins used to buy upgrades, similar to like the modern Doom games, where you stun them and then you hit a button to kill them to get health and ammo and that kind of stuff. When you get a bunch of enemies staggered at the same time and hit the execution button, and Musashi flies across the screen executing them all, it is so satisfying every time, and in some cases is necessary to survive an encounter so you can get that extra health or the kunai that you need to survive. As you progress through the game, you'll get more combos that are either focused on damage or building up stagger. Musashi also has ninjutsu abilities that you use by building up an energy meter, and you can equip 4 of them at a time. They're all really cool and have unique animations and use cases. By the end, I definitely had my favorites, but it's nice to be able to mix and match. Musashi also has 4 ultimate moves, the classic nuke the screen or an emergency heal, which came in clutch for me more than once when I was on a boss fight. And then lastly, there are amulets you will find. You can equip 2 at a time, and they add modifiers like increasing your damage when your combo count is high, or make enemies drop more coins so you can afford upgrades more easily. The ninja tools are where the Metroidvania aspect comes in, and are what will let you go back to areas which were previously inaccessible. One of the few gripes I have with this game is the glider, which is one of those ninja tools, only because the glider heavy sections slow the pace down in a game where you just want to go, go, go. I mean, it's a fast game, and then when you get into one of those glider spots, it just slows things down. The map, on the other hand, is really well done, and if you've played a lot of Metroidvanias, you'll know how a bad map can really hurt the experience. Anything that you can't get to, or entire areas that are inaccessible, are marked on the map. You can go to any checkpoint you've unlocked on any map really quickly, and that just makes it really easy to go back and get to those areas you couldn't before, which I always wanted to do. I never felt like it was a slog to go back and try and get something that I'd missed before. There's 2 secret chests on every level, 3 elite squads, which when you beat all 3, you can get like a health or a kunai upgrade or an amulet that you can't get any other way. And then there are these things called the Onko Rifts, which, teleports you to a challenge room, which are either platform-based or combat-based. These are all worth doing for me, so having them be easy to get back to made it that much more enjoyable to do. The only other really minor complaint I would have is maybe the enemy variety, because about halfway through the game you'll have basically seen all of the enemies. They do mix it up by changing their colors, and their moveset changes a bit based on that, or they give them armor, which you have to get through before you can stagger them or before you can damage them. A couple more enemies would have been nice, but in a game that will probably take most people 9 to 10 hours to beat, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. It never hindered my enjoyment at all. It was just a thought that I had, but I quickly forgot about it anytime it did pop up when I got to one of the many awesome bosses in this game. The difficulty of the bosses is kind of all over the place. Some are pretty easy and some are pretty hard. They're all, beautifully animated. The whole game with this 2D hand-drawn style looks amazing. But, that's going to be it for this one. If you haven't played Shinobi yet, I highly recommend you do. You can usually pick it up on sale now for like 15 or 20 bucks. And if you have played it, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.